What's up, everybody, man? It's your boys Cam and T, man, back at it again with another episode of the Cam and T podcast, man. If you like this type of content, go ahead and like and also as well subscribe to the podcast, man. We're on all streaming platforms. I mean, you name it, we there. Appreciate y'all's love and support. I am your co-host, Tony T Time West, and we also have my brother from another mother, Cam, on a Tuesday this time for real. I didn't forget the date this time. On a Tuesday, happy podcast day, Cam. How you doing, brother?
Happy Pod Day, bro. Good to see you, man.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
doing good. I'm feeling good. I was also sick last week, bro. I didn't tell you that. I meant to tell
No,
you.
you didn't tell me that. No, I didn't know you were sick.
Yeah, I was sick. Actually, we decided to give y'all a week off last week because of what was going on.
Yeah, a lot of United States stuff and all that. Yeah, so we knew it was a lot going on. And we knew everybody emotions was high, and we just like, it's probably not a good time to do a pod about sports. Let's just chill out for a couple of days.
I wasn't gonna make it last week, bro, because I was sitting there. You remember me and you was texting back and forth, bro?
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting there panicking, boy. But anyway, so last week we wanted to give y'all some time off, and I was also sick last week, so it's probably better that we did anyway. But we back. We back on Tuesday. I apologize for being late. That's on me as well. I was on the phone, but we back for y'all, man, and we got a good one tonight. I'm excited for it. But T, how you doing, man? How you feel?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. I'm doing pretty good, man. Can't complain. Been in the gym, working out, man, doing my thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? I lost like 23, 24 pounds in the last couple of months. So I just been grinding, bro. That's it, man. Just been in that gym, bro. That's it. I'm really trying to lose
my boy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm really trying to lose more, though, before Thanksgiving, because I ain't going to cap, y'all. I'm not dieting during Thanksgiving. I'm not going to sit here and tell you no lie. I'm going home. I'm going to eat Bojangles when I go back. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to exercise some of my, demons when I get back to North Carolina for a couple of days. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to lose even more weight. So, you feel me? When I get back, I won't be too bad. But I'm going to work out, too, still while I'm up there, too. So yeah, that's the privilege of having that black card at
Planet Fitness.
Yes, sir. Because I'm off that whole week, right? So I'm just gonna be with my parents, just chilling with them and my family and stuff. So when we ain't doing that, I'm just gonna go to the gym. That'll help me from not just eating everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So get in there and do 30 minutes of cardio or something like that.
Do something, that's what I'm saying? So I'll probably go every day besides like Thanksgiving Day. So yeah, I'm really trying to lose the weight. I'm trying to lose even more. Probably like if I could lose between 5 and 7 more pounds before now, in 2 weeks from now, I'd be feeling pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm just excited because I love the holiday season, bro. So, and shout out to my mom. She probably watching this. She's a big holiday person and Christmas mainly. My Christmas tree already up, bro. Kim, I'm gonna tell you, I'm put my Christmas tree up, bro. Christmas tree already up. I put mine up. So let me ask you this before we even get into sports today. When do you feel like it's an appropriate time to put the Christmas tree up?
Man, for me, I'm not gonna lie. I've always been. I gotta hit Thanksgiving first, bro.
So you gotta get Thanksgiving. You will not touch a tree till Thanksgiving.
So, matter of fact, this was what So my family, my dad's side of the family, so his mother, my nana, usually what she does, we'll have everybody over for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? We eat, whatever. We enjoy Thanksgiving, right? And then typically on that Saturday after, we start putting up Christmas decorations.
Got you.
So typically that's kind of how we've always done it. My mom, she usually start probably around Thanksgiving weekend around the same time too. But probably a little bit later, probably the 1st of like December. So that's kind of when I prefer to start things, because to me it's like, and also it's too hot right now, man. Like,
it is hot for it to be November.
Yeah,
it is like very hot for it to be November. I'm not gonna lie.
It's kind of crazy, bro. For me, I'm very much into the holiday Christmas spirit. But it's gotta be it's just gotta be cold, or at least cool, bro.
Cooler, yeah.
Yeah, it's
you can still wear shorts down here right now at this point.
I mean,
it's
hot. You really could.
It's really hot.
It was a little second there. I was putting on like undershirts for work. I ain't even doing that no more. I done took them off and I just put on my clothes, bro. Like, I ain't even putting on undershirts no more because it's still hot out there.
It's still hot.
Start to break the sweat.
Yeah, it's still hot outside, man. So I definitely understand. I feel like Veterans Day weekend is the perfect time to put up a tree, in my personal opinion, because I feel like at that point you're close enough to the holidays. My mom's gonna hear this and probably kill me because she puts her tree up like November 1. Like, she don't play, she puts it up early, she don't waste no time. So November 1, and some people are like that. Like, soon as Halloween skip off, Christmas. But for me personally, I need to at least, you know what I'm saying, get to like the 12th or the 11th or the 10th, something like that, of November to keep everything going. And Cam stepped away, so he'll be right back. But for me personally, I gotta wait a little bit. So before we get going tonight, first and foremost, man, we're gonna talk a lot of sports. We're gonna talk a lot of college football and stuff like that. I'm gonna hold down the fort while Cam steps away real quickly. But also as well, we got some breaking news. Former Carolina Panthers linebacker son, Thomas Davis. So Thomas Davis Jr. has just now committed to Notre Dame. So that's dope. Shout out to TD. Shout out to TD Jr. And that's a big move, man. But anyway, before we get into everything tonight, we're going to talk a lot of college football. We missed last week, and Clemson's very lucky that we missed last week because I was going to shred them absolutely apart, and I will do that today because there's still some things I don't really like that I'm seeing from Clemson, even though they did win against Virginia Tech. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Also as well, we're going to talk about kind of some teams that might have been a little disappointing so far in this college football season. Talk about some teams that have been some surprises as well in this college football season. Obviously, the second selection of the college football playoffs will take place tonight. The teams, by then this podcast will be done, so we won't get to unveil it to you, but we'll kind of tell you who's getting unveiled. And then also as well, we'll talk a little bit of NFL. We're midway through the season now, closer to the end actually than midway. So then we'll talk about that as well. So we got a good show for y'all. So big college football show, big show. Cam, I don't know if you just seen the news. I know you stepped away from for a minute, but Thomas Davis' son just committed to Notre Dame. So that's cool. So shout out to him.
Linebacker too.
Huh?
He a linebacker as well?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I know he plays at Weddington, and they're like a big football powerhouse now in North Carolina. So that's cool. That's dope to see. Good for him. I'm surprised he didn't go to Georgia like his dad. So that is interesting to see. But anyway, let's jump into the show tonight, and let's jump into some college football. Cam, you know our team is Clemson, and I feel like we got to get our slander off because we didn't get to slander them last week the way we wanted to, with Louisville coming in to Clemson and pretty much like punching Clemson dead in the mouth, like straight up. Like, yeah, Clemson only lost 33-21, but they really lost that game like 31-7. Like, it was bad. Or 33-7. They got punched in the mouth with 2 late touchdowns that kind of made the game look a little more legible. In my personal opinion, I'll kind of go first. And I've said this before, and I want to preface my comments before I say what I'm about to say. I think Clemson is a good program, but not a great program. Does that make sense? I think Clemson is a program that is going to perennially from now on get 8-9 wins. But as far as them being 8-11, getting into the playoffs, making noise in the playoffs, I think those days are over. And again, I want to preface my comments before I say what I'm about to say. And Cam, I'll let you pick this up too from me, because they did bounce back this week and beat Virginia Tech. But let's be honest, Virginia Tech's not really that good, to be quite frankly honest with you. And they're two probably the best players on the team were hurt in Tunin and also as well Drones, which is their quarterback and their running back. So I'm going to say this before I say anything else. What is holding? No, actually, before I say this, Dabo Swinney is an amazing coach. He's great. I thank him for everything he has done. I'll never not be appreciative of what Dabo Swinney has done. Let me say that first before we go any further. Dabo Swinney is the best coach in all of Clemson sports, not just football, in all. He is. It's no question about it. 2 national championships. He's a GOAT at Clemson. No doubt about it. But what I'm about to say is going to infuriate a lot of Clemson fans because they love Dabo, and I do too. But what is holding Clemson back is also Dabo Swinney. And until people can realize that and wake up and smell the coffee that I've been cooking up for the last 3.5, 4 years now, you're going to be stuck in disappointment land. See, I'm not in disappointment land anymore about Clemson because I know what they are. They're a 9-win team, 8-win team. That's what they are. But a lot of people are expecting playoffs and winning the ACC title. I think those days are over perennially. I do. I think they're over because Dabo Swinney has not really adjusted. And I'm not even really just talking about the portal, Cam. Let me say that. This is not about just the portal. This is about the way he recruits as well. Clemson has had 5 decommitments in the last 2 months, 3 months. And a lot of that is because Dabo Swinney has not adjusted to the NIL era. Also, as well, Dabo Swinney, he doesn't recruit kids early, for example. So, you know how a lot of kids now are getting sophomore scholarship. They're getting scholarship their sophomore year, early junior year. Yeah, Dabo doesn't really do that like that. Dabo kind of waits until normally the end of your junior year, which is how people used to do it back in the day, but now things have changed. People are getting scholarships in the 9th grade now at this point. So Dabo waits late to recruit guys, and by then, they're already attracted to 15, 20 other schools. And I think the way Dabo's recruiting and how he's, I'm going to selectively pick these good guys that fit our program and not going after just pure talent, I think that has now caught up to Dabo. I think 7 years ago, 8 years ago, you could recruit the way he recruits now, and it would be fine. But now with NIL and also as well with, with NIL and also as well, just with everybody getting better, everybody hitting the transfer portal, everybody growing their team in different ways, I think Dabo is going to have to assimilate, and not just in the portal, in recruiting as well. And again, I just think that, I just don't think Dabo has it anymore. And I think Dabo more so cares about developing young men. He doesn't care about winning anymore, which that's great that you want to develop young men. That's awesome. That's really a tremendous thing to do. But I don't think Dabo necessarily cares about winning natties anymore. He's done that twice now. So he's okay, I done did that. I know I'm safe in Clemson pretty much forever. And I think now it's gotten to the point where he just doesn't care about winning national championships. So I think if Clemson fans are okay with 8-4, 9-3 every year, there's no need to even talk about Dabo, holding the program back because you're okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you want to win national championships and win the ACC year in, year out, I think there needs to be a conversation. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead, Kel.
Man, I don't know, bro. I really don't know. That Louisville loss was
nasty,
ugly.
That was nasty.
I mean, we was getting blitzed out the gate, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, we was getting blitzed out.
I hadn't seen Clemson get beat like that in Death Valley since 2013 when Florida State came in there and whooped us up.
Yeah,
that's the last time I seen us just get absolutely pushed around.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even close.
That's what I'm saying. The score 33-21 doesn't even do it justice. We got blitzed.
Yeah. I mean, even still, that's 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's still.
Like I said, the score really was 33-7. Really.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I don't know, man. And this weekend was a little bit better, but my biggest issue looked
pretty bad though.
My biggest issue is defense.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue. We can't stop chunk plays. We can't stop big gains. You know what I mean? That's our biggest issue. All right. And we can't get off the field on 3rd down, I feel like.
Yep.
It's tough, bro, because it's we do so well on 1st down. We do so well on 2nd down, but it could be 3rd and 26. And I'm just they're probably going to pick up the 1st because for some reason on 3rd down, they just don't play good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have trouble containing mobile quarterbacks, which is why I think, and I know you wanted to talk about this a little bit later, but that's why that South Carolina game don't look as easy as it seems.
Oh, it's not easy at all, brother.
From the outside looking in.
No.
I think it's just there's certain things about that defense that just it's not the same defense as as Clemson of old. You know what I'm saying? I do like the secondary room. I think it's pretty good. I think Ashton Hampton has really stepped up. Obviously, Avion Terrell is looking really good. You know what I'm saying? Khalil Barnes is still a player out there. Jaden Lucas has a couple penalties per game, but he's still solid overall.
Yeah.
I worry about the linebackers, and I worry about the guys coming off the edge. And it's not that they're not good enough. It's just that I don't think they're fast enough to deal with some of these people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really love the players that are out there. I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, there's a good chance that on the team right now, there's a good chance that 8 of these guys are going to be playing on Sundays. So it's not the personnel on the defense that I think stinks. I think it's the organization of it. I think it's the coordinating. Okay. I think Wes Goodwin has done a terrible job this year. I know the numbers don't say that, but I think he's done a terrible job this year. Because I like DeMonte Capehart. I like Trey Williams. Obviously, we love Peter Woods. We love TJ Parker. You know what I'm saying? The guys that I mentioned earlier in the secondary, Barrett Carter, Wade Woodaz. But it's just something about them that just doesn't work. That's just not working right now. Barrett Carter looks slow sometimes. He's out there getting beat. We already knew Wade Woodaz was going to get beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's something about them that doesn't click right. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's good at one thing. You know what I mean? Or great at one thing, but they're not good at some other things. Like Barrett Carter, he'll meet you at the line of scrimmage. He'll call out the quarterback. He'll spy you. He'll do all of that. But as soon as we get into coverage, it's over.
It's cooked. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wade Woodaz, he'll lay that hit. Oh, he'll lay that wood. He'll get you. But again, coverage is kind of an issue for him too.
Yeah.
Peter Woods, good player, great player, playing out of position. We said this all year long.
Yeah, he needs to be a defensive tackle, bro.
He need to be in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. DeMonte Capehart and Trey Williams, they seem like they're doing good in the middle. I'm gonna leave them alone. I like what they've been doing. And then Page is the other guy, right?
Page plays in the middle too a little bit sometimes. Yeah.
Middle. And then obviously TJ Parker has been solid.
Yeah, I was about to say he's been pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been solid on the edge. But it's just certain things that, Avion Terrell is a really good lockdown corner, it seems like at this point. He's been very good. Jaden Lucas, he plays good sometimes, but then sometimes he gets a little grabby. Sometimes he gets a couple penalties. That's kind of what happens with your CB2. I mean, it happens in the NFL too. So I'm not even I can't really even be mad at him because at least he not getting dusted and burnt like he was last year. He ain't getting toasted. You know what I'm saying out there. And then Ashton Hampton is coming along, and he's playing very well as a true freshman. But it's just it's something about that defense that just doesn't do it for me. And Tony, T-Time, who would have ever thunk in 2024 that our issue with the Clemson Tigers is not the offense?
Yeah.
I ain't got no quarrels with nobody on the offense. The offensive line looks pretty good. Hold on, the offensive line looks good. Phil Maffa actually looks obviously been looking really good.
Yeah, he's had a really good season.
If there was a most improved player in the country award, it's probably going to Cade Klubnik because he's looked outstanding this year. I really haven't had any issues with him. Even the last couple of weeks, I really ain't even been that.
Yeah, because a lot of the passes last week was just wide receiver drops like crazy.
Drops.
Yeah.
Drops. It was drops this week.
And this week too.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I mean,
both games really the wide receivers low key sold. And K he still got them happy feet though. He done brought that back. I don't know why that's been back the last 2 weeks, but he got to chill that out too. Because he has, but I do agree with what you're saying though. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, they and the tight ends will look pretty good.
Yeah.
The wide receivers, they young. That's their issue. That's their only issue.
Yeah, they young. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like what TJ Morris brings to the table. I really think he's kind of like, he really kind of our best receiver right now, him and Antonio Williams. I think Westco, the injury kind of set him back a little bit.
And he needs to gain some weight too, to be honest.
He needs to gain some weight. I mean, he's too big. He's too tall to be 160 pounds or whatever he is. But that's neither here nor there. I think he has some growing to do. Moore has some growing to do. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. We're banged up in the wide receiver room with Tyler Brown being out as well.
Yeah.
But overall, I really do like the room. I don't have any issues with the offense, to be honest with you.
And the O-line's been great this year.
You know what I'm saying? There's some things, that can be, the play calling could be better.
Yeah.
But in terms of the personnel, I'm not mad at it at all. I will put them out there against any defense and say if the play calling was adequate, I put them out there against any defense because I like the guys. I really do. I like everybody. But it's just, for me, it's just the defense, bro.
Yeah.
And these aren't powerhouse offenses that we're facing, which is why I'm kind of like, dang, bro. Like, even if we get to the ACC championship by a miracle, but if we go up against a doggone Miami, they might dog walk us.
It's cool. Yeah.
They're not fast enough. Cam Ward plays so slow. They're not fast enough to chase him out the pocket and give him all that time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even Kevin Jennings with SMU, if we were to face them in the championship game,
yeah,
I worry about him too, because like I said, we've struggled with mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I don't know, bro. I just think that this season is one of those seasons. I'm kind of with you. Like, if we can get to 10 wins, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
We got to get past Pitt this weekend. Obviously, we're expecting the Citadel to be a win, but and then South Carolina is going to be a dogfight, I think, at the end of the year. But we just got to, like you said, it's just one of those things where Clemson is now kind of taking that step back. Yeah. We're now in that second or third tier of college football, probably that third tier at this point, because I think that third tier is still your 8, 9, 10 win team. I think that second tier teams are your playoff bubble teams. Yeah, and obviously your first tier is your championship contenders. We way off of that. I think we're close to the we're somewhat close to the playoff bubble, but that's still not good enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
compared to what it was in the past. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason, like, based on this year, there was no reason why we shouldn't have been one of those top 12 teams. And that's just how I feel. There's no reason why we couldn't have been one of those top 12 teams.
I can't wait how Dabo is going to try to spin this into a successful season, because you know what's going to happen. We'll talk about it later. I'm going to give it a couple weeks, but I think Dabo's going to try to spin this into we won 9 or 10 games, and I'm going to be honest, Clemson not being in the ACC championship, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. It's a failure.
This year,
especially this year.
This year.
Like, it's a failure, bro. Like, not being in the ACC championship this year when SMU just got to the party and they already there.
Already in there.
Like, come on, bro. Like, Dabo, there's no way you can swing this as some successful season. Really, Clemson should be in the ACC championship, especially this year. They should be in there every year, bro. Like, every single year. Yeah. Now, I do want to talk about something else, and we actually got Ace in the building. Shout out to my boy Ace. I kind of want to have a conversation about South Carolina, because I don't think Clemson's the best team in the Carolinas. I cannot believe I'm saying this, and it hurts my heart to say this. I think South Carolina is, bro. I think South Carolina is the best team in the Carolinas right now. I really do. I think they're a top 15 team that just has 3 tough losses. Like, I'm not going to lie. Because when you look at it, Ole Miss blew them out, but now you just seen what Ole Miss just did to Georgia.
I told you don't count them out. I told you don't count Ole Miss out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you did say that.
I thought they'd be back.
They got blew out by Ole Miss. You could argue if they had the referees correct in Columbia, they should have beat LSU. They called back 2 touchdowns. They should have beat LSU. And it was just a mistake away from beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a true argument. This team should be like 8-1. So, like, again, man, I'm not going to lie, man. I think in the way South Carolina is playing right now as well, Sellers is playing better. The Bennett kid is really good. I mean, that defensive line is absolutely spectacular. I think they're the best defensive line in the country, Cam. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of hard for me to think they're not right now.
Yeah.
What's the kid name? Oh, God, I can't.
Dylan Stewart.
What's the other one? I'm talking about
Kyle Kennard.
Kyle Kennard. That boy, the truth. He's a first-round talent, brother. That boy good, man. He's really good. And shout out to my cousin, Jatarius Greer. He plays on the Gamecocks as well, and he's a rotational player for the Gamecocks as well. We're going to get him on the podcast this offseason. But again, I'm proud of him and happy for him and his success that he's had as a rotational player on that good defensive line. They're just loaded, bro. They're loaded up front. That safety they got, a Rimway or something, Nick or Rory, I don't know what his name is. Something with E, and it's African, but he's playing absolutely spectacular. He looks like a first round talent. I'm not gonna lie, Cam. If I had to choose right now for that game in Death Valley in 3 weeks, I'm picking South Carolina, bro. Like I hate to say it, but like I gotta be real. Like I think South Carolina wins. And Cam, the way our defenses look and the way Sellers and Sanders look, I don't know if it's particularly close.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be flat out honest with you. Like I know it disappoints me to say that, but if South Carolina and Clemson played right now in Death Valley, I think South Carolina's winning something like 24-13.
They got the big They got the big mo, bro. They got motivation.
Exactly.
They got motivation,
and
right
they're playing like a team with a lot of heart. I got to give Shane Beamer a lot of credit. I criticized the hire when it happened, but he's really turned things around there, and they really look really good. And they have momentum in recruiting right now as well because they look good. I mean, I'm a fair man. I'm not going to just sit up here and talk crap about South Carolina.
Right.
They look good, man. They look like they're really turning the corner, honestly.
Remember when we talked about dude in Florida State?
Oh,
remember what we said?
Too. Yeah.
Remember what we said? I remember what I said.
Yeah.
I said Shane Beamer was a better coach than him.
You did.
We seen it back then because South Carolina was just coming off of a 8-4 season. I think they went 5-7 after that. But still, I was like, they at least fighting for bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They at least fighting for bro. And I think this year is more proof why I feel like South Carolina got the right dude for the job at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I always felt that because I always was like, even when they was talking about firing him last year, I think that's a mistake. I said, I don't think you should fire him for last season. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I believed in dude. I really think he's solid, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it's clear as day that he kind of is at this point. I mean, they done got some huge wins this season.
Absolutely.
Vanderbilt was a great win this weekend. And then obviously Texas A&M. We didn't talk about it last week, but that was a huge
win for them. Absolutely.
Win. And that's a program win too. Like that's a dominant win. And the thing about South Carolina, one thing that we always know about them is that their team built on motivation. Their team built on not motivation. Momentum. Their team built
momentum. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how their season ended in 2022 with the wins over Tennessee and Clemson.
Momentum.
Exactly. And they hung in there tight with a really good Notre Dame team that season.
Exactly.
In the bowl game.
That's, I mean, at the end of the day, that's pretty much where I mean, that's what South Carolina is right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're a momentum team. They got it all. They got all the momentum. They got their quarterback back. Like you said, Rocket Sanders is looking really good.
Yeah.
What's his name? Ja'Cory and Bennett is a dog. I mean, they got a really good squad, and it'll be interesting to see what happens.
It's really good. That tight end they got, Simon, I think number 6. He's good, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They just got a really good squad. So we're gonna see what happens against Clemson later on this year. Like I said, they're gonna be fired up and ready to go because they feel like they actually feel like they can beat Clemson. And
I feel like they can too. To be honest.
That's the thing about kind of going back to Clemson though. That's kind of one of the things that's kind of taking a step back. South Carolina used to never think they could.
No, it used to be. We gonna get.
They used to give up as soon as they got on the field, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
they Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson days, they wouldn't even show up.
They wasn't even showing up, bro. They wasn't even showing up. And it's like at this point, I mean, it's better for the sport for rivalry games to be close.
Absolutely.
But it's just that and for us to not, run them out the stadium every single year. But still, it's kind of one of those things where, we've fallen into being on the same level as little brother at this point. And that's not good for the program moving forward. Like we should still be one of the top dogs in college football.
Yep.
And we'll talk about some other teams here soon, but there's so much parity across college football. It's kind of a shame that we can't even stick our neck into the, you know what I'm saying, into the water, above the water, and be like, hey guys, we here too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Especially
Like,
this year. Because there's no elite team in college football this year, in my personal opinion. I don't know how you feel about it, but there's no elite team. Like, we just seen Georgia get blitzed, and that's who's been Mr. Elite the last, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 years.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, man. It's kind of, this would be the year for Clemson to be good, and we actually could actually win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what I think is probably the most frustrating, in my personal opinion.
I agree. That's the most disappointing thing, because all we missing, for me, once again, for me, all we missing is a competent defense. That's all. Yeah. We're just, you just got to be stable. Like, and the problem with us is that we've always been, I can't even say that, but we've always given up some yardage, but we never gave up points. This year we're giving up yards and points. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem.
I do want to give the defense a little credit last week, because they only allowed 33 rushing yards, something like that. It was crazy. Yeah. So they did their thing last week. I'm not gonna lie. They only gave up 100 and something plus yards passing. Yeah. So they didn't give up last week.
They didn't give up no points.
They didn't give up no points, really. Yeah. The points they gave up was bogus.
Block field goal.
Yeah, the block field goal, and then they got the bogus touchdown at literally with 30 seconds left in the game. So again, I don't want to harp too bad on defense, at least this past week, but this whole season, me and you've been saying that the defense just don't look how a Clemson defense supposed to look.
But even still, though, T, I mean, Virginia Tech was down. They quarterback. I mean, they benched him or he got hurt or something. I don't know what happened to Jones, but hurt, yeah, I mean, they even and still
who's probably their best offensive player, he got hurt in the game.
See, I mean, it's just.
That's why I said, when Clemson fans was like, "Oh, well, we beat Virginia Tech, let's just forget about our problems," I was like, no, I'm not impressed still. And then this week we playing against Pitt, and I think they're saying Eli Holstein is out because he might have a concussion again. So now their star quarterback, who's been tremendous this year, is out. So if we win this game, I'm kind of gonna be feeling the same way. We won.
It might be another lucky break.
Yeah, we just got another lucky break. You know what I'm saying? But in my personal opinion, man, I'm not sold on Clemson this season. And again, I hate to be this guy. I hate to be that dude. Dabo Swinney is the reason why. And I'm not calling for his job. I'm not saying he needs to be fired. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if you are a Clemson fan, either accept we're going to be 9-3, 8-4 every year, which is not terrible. That's just what it's going to be. But if you're wanting to win national championships and doing all that, I don't think Dabo Swinney is allowing that to happen because the way he is running the program. Just being honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Just being real. So if that's what you want, then no worries. If you want 9-3, 8-4, then you shouldn't be complaining at all. But if you want to win national championships, there needs to be a concern, in my personal opinion. Let me move on to Florida State. Let's talk about them. They lost again this week. They got absolutely routed, 56-3 to Notre Dame. They're absolutely terrible. I think they're on their way to probably a 2-10 season. Now, I'm going to give you a minute, because you've been saying since the jump, because you were harder on Mike Norvell than even I was. Mike Norvell in Florida State sucks, man. They're bad. They fired their OC and DC this week, I believe, and their offensive line coach. And I think the offensive line coach was their main recruiter, Alex Atkins, and they fired him. They're on their way to a 2-10 season. I don't think they win another Power 4 game this year. I think they got Charleston Southern, and then I think they got Florida, and I think Florida's better than them at this point.
Yeah.
I personally, they fired their wide receiver coach as well. AB just said that in the comments. So they're firing half the staff right now. How can you go from 13-0 to this? Me and you was talking about it before this came on. There's a possibility that they are the worst team in the Power 4. It's a possibility them and Purdue essentially are the two worst teams in the Power 4 once me and you looked at it. And you might throw Mississippi State in there too as well. They're pretty bad too. What do you even what do you even think about this whole Florida State thing? Because you've been telling me since last year, Mike Norvell ain't good. He ain't worth for nothing. So I kind of want to let you just have your moment, really.
You're fraud. I mean, it's the same stuff that we've been saying all year, or all season. Them boys can't tackle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a quarterback situation is toast.
Yeah.
All three of them stink. Yeah. All three of them stink. They ain't really got no kind of talent in the running back room.
Yeah,
they ain't got no talent.
Disgusting.
They barely got talent in the wide receiver room. I mean,
they don't.
Bro, I mean, they tied in and took a huge step back because he was supposed to be Morlock was supposed to be something for them, and he stinks. I mean, it's a bad team all around. Like, it's terrible. It's actually terrible. Like, it's not it's just not a good team. And I think actually I think this is a bad look for Florida State too. Not that their team sucks this year, but that they're firing all of these coordinators. You know what I'm saying? They're
going 13-0.
Essentially, it makes me think, like, obviously everybody talks about the contract buyout, like they can't get rid of Norvell.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, bro, are you sure?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you sure? Because, like, you went from and CT, this is something that you've been saying too. That I want you to kind of talk about for me, and see if you got the actual stats.
Yeah.
But Norvell's been there 5 years. Mm-hmm. 3 of them years they've been terrible.
Yeah.
That's the thing a lot of people don't understand. They got hot for what's that? That was pretty much 20 games.
Yep.
20 games in a
row. They
went
10-3. They went 10-3 the year before last, and last year they went 13-0. So roughly, like you said, about 20, 25, 26 games. Roughly.
Not 20. No, I'm gonna give it 20 because they were when they played Clemson, what was their record? They was 6-3.
I think so, yeah.
Something like that. And then they finished the rest of the season undefeated, and then that momentum carried over into the following season when they brought in all those guys through the transfer portal. So I'm gonna say about 20 games they were good.
Yep.
Okay. Or really good, I guess you can say. About 20 games. Outside of that, they've been terrible.
Yeah.
The first season he was there, that was a COVID year. I think it was a short season.
I got it right here, Cam. I'm gonna read it off to you. I got it pulled up right here for you. So the COVID year was his first year in 2020. They played 9 games. They went 3-6, did not make a bowl game. In 2021, which was his first full year, they went 5-7 also as well. Did not make a bowl game and started off the season that year 0-3 or 0-3. Then also after that is when they went 10-3. So that's the year that Clemson was blowing them out and they came back, and Clemson still ended up beating them, and then they end up winning like the rest of their games. They did win 10 games that year, and also as well went to the Cheez-It Bowl and won that against Oklahoma. Then after that, that's last year when they went 13-1, and again did what they did, got to the Orange Bowl and got blitzed. And then this year, which has been an absolute catastrophe. So you're right, he's had more bad years than good. I think next year is gonna be the do it or die season for Norvell, because if he stinks next year, and we're gonna jump into this team next, and the way Deion is doing Colorado right now, I just wonder, would they pick up the phone and be like, hey, let's get him out of here and let's get Deion in here? Because what Deion is doing at Colorado is absolutely spectacular. So if he could do that at Colorado, imagine what he could do at Florida State.
That's what I'm saying.
In their like region of the country.
Exactly.
You go crazy, bro.
Bruh, objectively, this is me speaking non-biased, okay? Just purely objectively speaking. You got to go after Deion Sanders, bro. I mean, we're talking prime.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is one of your alumni.
Yeah.
This is one of your alums. One of the best players to ever step foot on that campus. One of the best players, period, to ever play football. But one of the best players to ever step foot in your campus. It's Deion Primetime Sanders we talking about.
Yeah.
And you going to stick with some Mike Norvell? Think about the culture. Think about what you can bring back to Florida State.
Yeah.
Think about we're talking Florida State football here. Mm-hmm. There is absolutely no reason why Florida State shouldn't make a bowl game every single year.
Yeah. At least 6 wins.
Actually, I'm gonna take it a step further than that. There's no reason why Florida State shouldn't be in contention for an ACC title every single year.
They're kind of in a similar boat as Clemson. I'm not gonna lie.
They
compete for ACC championship every year. Anything less than that should be looked at as a failure.
A failure, bro. Let's look at every other program in the ACC and just look at their history. There's only 2 teams that stand out. It's Clemson and Florida State.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. Ain't nobody else.
Miami, this is probably gonna be the first year ever they win an ACC championship, and they've been in the league for a while.
Yeah, them two.
So it's literally Clemson and Miami. I mean, it's literally Clemson and Florida State.
Florida State, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just look at every other team that's in the conference. There's no reason why Florida State shouldn't be in the mix every year. I'm not saying you got to win it every year, but you got to at least be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your expectations aren't as high as a Clemson's expectations.
Yeah.
But you got to be in the mix every year.
You got to be in the mix at least. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and if that's not your standard at Florida State, then you have a culture problem, and you actually have a program problem. If that's not your standard, but I'll give you some leeway because you do have some coaching turnover. You know what I'm saying? You lost Jimbo, you lost Taggart, you lost blah, 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 whatever. You know what I'm saying? You haven't quite gotten the coaching situation right. But at the very least, you got to be able to get the bowl game, bro.
Yeah, at least get the 6, man.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get 6.
At Florida State, come on, man.
Yeah, at Florida State. I mean, ain't nobody asking you to. I mean, I'm not even asking you to win the bowl game. Just get there, bro. Just get 6 wins, be bowl eligible. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was watching a broadcast a couple weeks ago. This is when they lost to God, they was getting blued out by somebody, bro.
Was it North Carolina?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was. It was North Carolina. And they was talking about Florida State, and they were saying, you know, they could win every other game and they could finish 5-7 or whatever was what they were saying. And obviously in a year like when you got an expanded playoff picture, some 5-7 teams will actually get invited to a bowl game. And they were saying, like, Florida State, that should be your goal at the very least. Like, you should at least be one of those teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now at this point, we're not even asking you to get 6 wins. We're just asking you to get 5, bro. And you can't even do that.
Yeah.
You can't even get more than 1 win in the conference. Actually, they finished their conference play. So they 1-7 in conference play. That was it.
Yeah, that's it. They're done.
That's
they
it.
They got a bye week. Then they got Charleston Southern
and Florida.
And Florida. That's it.
That's it. So they're 1-9 right now.
Yep.
With a chance. With a real chance of finishing 2-10.
2-10. I think 2-10 is what's gonna happen.
Listen, bro. That's ugly.
Yeah.
And that's why I say there's no reason why you shouldn't say, hey, Mike, we're gonna give you this $60 million.
Yeah.
Go on and find you something new. Hey, Dion, we're gonna give you a big old contract.
I think they're gonna let it play out one more year because I think the buyout will drop probably like 50-something million. It's still gonna be a lot. But I think they're gonna let it play out one more season. But if he sucks next year, I think he's gone. If they don't at least make a bowl game next year, and even that, they might still can him. But if they don't, I think for him, if they can't get, I'm gonna say 7 or 8 wins, he's probably cooked.
Yep, that's how I feel too.
If he don't get 7 or 8 wins next year, he's gone. Even if he gets to 6, he's probably. Florida State's an absolute mess right now.
I think he got to get 8 to secure that job.
Yeah, 8 would definitely. Yeah, I think 8 would secure him a little bit, but anything less than 7,
I think it's Jover. Yeah, I agree. And if I'm Florida State, because I mean, and the reason why I say do it this year because all 3 of Prime kids is leaving Colorado, bro.
Yeah, it'd be the perfect time.
This would be the perfect time to just say, hey, Prime, all your kids leaving. Come on through to Florida State. Fix it. Yeah, come on home, bro. Fix it. You know what I'm saying? Fix this for us. Give him a blank check and give him years. You can see Prime. See the thing about Prime is he's still a relatively newer college football head.
Yeah, right.
But I think you already seen what he did at Jackson State. It took him what, pretty much 2 years for them to be in HBCU national championship talks
Mm-hmm.
for them. And then Colorado, it took 2 years. They talking about winning the doggone Big 12 right now.
Right now. Yeah.
And that's an automatic. That could be an automatic bid, bro.
I mean, after what I've seen this week, BYU don't look that unbeatable. You know, they play Utah this week. I think Colorado wins that. I mean, they have a realistic chance at 10-2 in being in the Big 12 championship and possibly the playoffs.
And that offense can run with anybody.
Anybody
nobody
in the country. Anybody.
They got, in my opinion, I'm gonna keep it a whole band with you. In my opinion, Shedeur Sanders is probably the best quarterback in the country because that brother.
Him and Cam Ward, either one. I wouldn't be mad at either one.
Travis Hunter is probably the best player in the country.
100%.
They got all these other wideouts, weapons. I mean, if I'm Florida State, I'm licking my lips looking at Deion because I'm like,
yeah.
And the fact is, and we'll move on after this. The fact is, he can actually bring his guys with him.
Yep.
That's the thing that they not. I mean, them dudes came to Colorado. They ain't come to no Colorado for no Boulder.
No, they came for Deion, man.
They came for Deion, bro. And you mean to tell me they can go from
Colorado was a non-factor in college football until Deion got there.
Until he got there, they ain't been nothing since they had Ray Caruth.
Yeah, and Ardell Stewart and stuff like that.
Thank you. And the other dude, the running back, bro.
I can't think of his name. Alfonso something, right?
God, I can't
think of the dude's name, but I know who you're talking about though.
Anyway, and Eric Bieniemy because he was there too.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, Deion to Florida State, that's literally a match made in heaven, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one of your alumni.
Yeah,
he's a great head coach, and he can recruit, and he can get guys in the transfer portal, and he can build your culture.
Yeah,
make that call, bro. Stop. Don't worry about that buyout because what's the difference between $10 million?
Right. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I agree. Let's transition a little bit though to college football playoff talk a little bit. And I did want to just real quickly, like 30 seconds, real quick. Georgia lost to Ole Miss, and this weekend against Tennessee is essentially like an elimination game.
So is.
Yeah. Georgia's took a little bit of a step back, Cam. They're kind of in that early, how Clemson kind of started falling off in 2021. They kind of giving me the same vibe a little bit. Georgia kind of starting to like step back a little bit than what they used to be. Like the last 3 years, they used to just be utter dominance. They dominated everybody. But now they kind of just look like a good team, not a great team.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Georgia? Because they got boat race this weekend. Like that game wasn't close either, really.
Yeah. I think the scariest thing about Georgia is they also losing recruits.
Yeah.
I think that's the scariest thing. They got Julian Lewis or something. He coming through
he going to Colorado, man. He come.
You think he going to Colorado, bro?
They already done predicted he flipping to Colorado. That's what I'm saying. And that's another school we probably need to talk about too. I know they out west. Southern California is in trouble, bro. SC is in big trouble. I know JR listens to this pod, and Denzel, I think he be on here too. Southern California is in much trouble.
Yeah.
They got 2 recruits that are talking about flipping to Colorado this week. And they're both big time recruits. So I'm not gonna lie, Cam. There needs to be a conversation had about Lincoln Riley too, because I don't think they've won a Big Ten game yet. I could be wrong, chat. Somebody can correct me on that if I'm not. But I don't think they've won a Big Ten game yet.
I'm gonna look at it. I got you.
Cause I'm like,
they beat Michigan, didn't they?
No, they didn't beat Michigan. Michigan beat them.
They got 2.
They got 2. Who did they beat?
They beat Rutgers.
They beat Rutgers. Yeah, that's who it was. I knew it was somebody. Wisconsin. Okay, so they beat Rutgers and Wisconsin. Yeah. That Wisconsin game, they had to fight back.
Yeah, and that I forgot the Michigan game was close.
Yeah,
I'm surprised, man. They should have been. And see, a lot of their games close too. That's the funny thing. Every single loss has been 1 score.
But when you look at USC being 2-5 in the conference and 4-5 overall, that ain't good, bro. Not to USC standard. That ain't
right. Right.
We're gonna have to have a conversation about them at some point too. But
another one,
Denzel already chiming in. Yeah. I knew he was on here because he know I'm be on here. Denzel said, "I'm Denzel, I knew. I said if I say something about Southern Cal, I know Denzel gonna get on here. But again, though, I think they're in trouble. And on top of that, like UCLA is kind of like outperforming them too, and they're in the same predicament. So again,
that's another one that need to be 6 wins every year.
Yeah, UCLA. Yeah,
I'm talking about USC.
USC. Oh yeah. USC needs to be at least. That's why and honestly, I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. Cam, I don't know if they're gonna get there. Like, I know they got 5. They're at 5 now. They got Nebraska, who is kind of railing a little bit.
No, so they have 4 now.
They at 4 now.
They're 4 and 5.
I thought they were at 5.
They 4 and 5.
Let me look it up. Are they 4 and 5? I thought they were at 5.
I'm looking at it right now.
They are. They're at 4 and 5. So they got to get 2 more wins to get to 6. And honestly, man, I'm not gonna lie. They're not beating Notre Dame. I don't even know about Nebraska, and truly, I don't know about UCLA either. So, I mean, Lincoln Riley at this point, and I think somebody said it in the comments. Once the LA vibes wore off, it was kind of cooked for Lincoln Riley because they just not winning games, bro. I mean, there's no other way around it. And I think now with the conference change, too, I mean, he couldn't even win the Pac-12. So now that you're in a tougher conference,
with the same dogs that was in the Pac-12, and in addition to the dogs that's already in the Big Ten.
I don't think Lincoln Riley has much longer in LA, bro. I'm being straight up with you. I don't know. I don't think he has anything longer. And I'm telling you who would be my number one choice for any college coaching job right now besides Deion Sanders. That's gonna be that boy up there in Indiana, Kurt Cinetti. He got them boys 10-0 right now. That would be my number one choice for any job. If I
told you to check the record, didn't he?
He said Google him now. He said Google him. That man be talking that talk, man. Kurt Cinetti, he be talking that talk. So again, I don't know how long Lincoln Riley got, but we'll jump into that another day, maybe next week. Let me talk about the college football playoffs. What do you think we see tonight? So let's go through it by conference. Who you think they're gonna have at number 1 in the SEC? I know. I think it's gonna be Texas.
In the SEC?
Yes, the SEC tonight.
Either Texas or probably Texas. Or shit. Yeah, it's got to be Texas.
It's gonna be Texas. They're gonna have Texas in for the spot for the SEC. ACC is, I guess, SMU right now.
SMU.
They don't know when they ain't lost. And then Big Ten is gonna be Oregon because they're undefeated still. And then
Big 12 would be BYU.
BYU, yeah.
Or Colorado, one of them.
Yeah, BYU right now because I don't think they've lost a game in conference yet either, or they've only lost 1. Yeah. So they're at the number 1 spot, though. I do know that BYU will be in that number 1 spot. So then at that point, who would you have as your at-larges at this point?
At large, or you talking about the rest of the
at large? Yeah, not. We know
you're right. You're right.
No. Yeah, I meant at large, but not because we know Boise is in at the G5. So I'm not even considering them because we know they're in. Yeah. So that's your 5 teams that we know going to get called tonight. Who's the other? You know what I'm saying? 7 that you did tonight.
So the other 7, I think you're gonna get Tennessee.
Yeah.
You're gonna get Alabama.
Yeah.
You're gonna get Ohio State.
Yep. That's 3.
I think you're gonna what I need 4 more.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, you slick might get Ole Miss back in the mix.
Yeah. I think Georgia's still gonna be in the mix. I think Georgia's still gonna be in the mix, bro.
Ohio State and Penn State got to be in the mix.
Yep, they're gonna be in there somewhere too. That's your 7 right there. Miami gonna be somewhere in the mix too.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't think Miami's still gonna be top 12.
You don't? I think they will.
Nah,
I think they will, bro. Even though they shouldn't.
Well, somebody got to drop off, bro.
Somebody got to drop.
Because we had Georgia and Miami both lost. You can't keep them both in there and then not have.
Do you
Ole
think
Miss.
they're gonna respect Georgia's loss? They should. They should respect Georgia's loss to Ole Miss more than Miami losing to Tech.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Definitely. But see, the thing
yeah,
is, the question is though, now you got to look at Alabama though with
yeah.
Georgia because Alabama,
And
even
all
though
of
they
a
done
sudden
lost twice,
they look back alive all of a sudden.
and they beat Georgia. So hold on,
Mhm.
let me pull up. Hold on, real quick. Let me get this. I'm looking at who in the top 25 right now
Okay.
because that's what I want to see. Where's my top 25? Here we go. So the rankings right now. Oh, this the AP. They ain't got the name.
They ain't got the rankings out yet. That won't come out till tonight. So go ahead, run through the AP real quick.
Um. So right now they got Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Indiana. We didn't say Indiana.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're gonna have to be in the mix too.
Tennessee, BYU. We ain't say Notre Dame. Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and Miami. That's actually the top 12 in the AP, and then Boise State is at 13, but we know they're in.
Yeah.
So what I think the college football playoff rankings, what they'll do is what they're gonna do is they're gonna put obviously Oregon State gonna be number one.
I think Miami might have to be the one left out, bro.
Yeah,
They got the worst
you got
loss.
to. But you gotta lead, but you gotta put SMU in there too though.
Oh yeah, SMU got to be in there. Yeah,
Because they have to see the thing is they don't have to be in the top, they don't have to be ranked in the top 12 though.
right. It just got to be in the right.
So somebody else just get left out. You know what I'm saying? Like they just gotta win the conference or be at the top of their conference, you know?
Yep.
Because of how they do the top seeding, that top ranking, you know, Boise State, let's say Boise State was ranked number 25, but they was still the
best
only
G5,
they would still hit that 12th spot. It was just
right.
it's weird how they do it, and to be honest, I don't really like how they do it because I would just rather they say, okay, guys, this is your top 12, and the reason why they're the top 12 is because they won a conference championship and this, that, and the third.
Yeah,
so
right.
even Boise State, like let's just say for whatever reason they won a conference championship, but they was like 6-6. You know what I'm saying? They would still be number 12 because they would go into the playoffs as that 12. You know what I'm saying? As that 12 team.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should do it that way rather than because they got Ohio State at ranked number 2, but in terms of the playoff seeding, they would be 5.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, which to me is kind of crazy, but yeah, I don't know.
I get it. Let's transition on over to NFL quickly because I know we already had an hour already. I want to talk about the Panthers a little bit. Panthers on a 2-game winning streak, Cam. I cannot believe it. 2 games in a row that they have won. Bryce Young seems to be turning the corner. Also, as well, let me get this mic. I get the last laugh on the Daniel Jones thing. Guys, I just want to come out here and say, thank you. We got coaches talking about he might need to be benched and not committing to Daniel Jones. So I just want to come out and say I was right. I already knew I was right. I already knew I was going to get the last laugh. Y'all got the jokes off on Twitter, but I won. So I want to say that first. Again, shout out to, you know what I'm saying, all the haters and people that was talking crazy. But again, man, Panthers got a 2-game winning streak. Yeah, and before I even get to the Panthers, I do want to say something about Daniel Jones, and I'm not hating. I'm really not. How can you last this long in the NFL being this mediocre, bro? Or, no, not mediocre. This terrible.
Yeah.
How can you last that long in the NFL being this terrible as a starting quarterback in the NFL, bro? Like, can anybody explain that to me, bro? That dude's been terrible the whole time he's been in the league. He had one decent year where I think he had like 21 passing touchdowns or something like that. He had that one decent year.
He didn't have that. He had 15.
See, I want to
Teddy Bridgewater numbers. No disrespect,
saying,
but that's
I just don't get how somebody can last that long. I just, But anyway, let me get on to the Panthers, man. Panthers got 2 wins in a row. What you thinking, bro? How you feeling?
I do want to chime in on that real quick because you make a great point. If somebody like Teddy B had to be a journeyman when his career high passing touchdowns is 15, how does a Daniel Jones
6 years, bro,
get a huge contract? 6 years in the league, starting. I mean, we're talking about in one of the prime spots of the NFL.
The prime spot. One of them for sure.
with
In
the
New
Giants.
York, yeah.
You know, it's kind of, it doesn't make sense. We kind of have to pull that card though. I'm thinking we got to pull that card.
Oh, you know I'm pulling it.
I think we got to pull that card because my question is Justin Fields a better quarterback than Daniel Jones?
Yes, 100%.
Justin
I don't
Fields
even
was
think
traded,
about it.
and Justin Fields was traded. I'm trying to think who else, bro, is out there, bro. Good Lord. At this point, Malik Willis.
Quarterbacks that are that are backups that are better than
Malik Willis.
I would probably take him over Daniel Jones. I'm dead serious.
He looked really good again with the Packers earlier this year.
I would take him over. I would even, as terrible as he been, I would take Levis over Daniel Jones too. I'm so serious.
He looked good. He looked much improved this past weekend. So yeah,
that's
or last weekend, whenever that was.
I think Daniel Jones is like a top 45 quarterback in the league, which means he needs to be a backup, which is when I told y'all, and y'all called me like, oh, shit, Tom, how can you talk? You're not NFL. But when Todd McShay said it on the draft thing, I seen somebody post that video today where Todd McShay pretty much said Daniel Jones is a backup quarterback. And everybody's like, oh, my God, he's preaching the gospel. But when I said it, I was a villain. I don't get it. Like, it's just crazy, bro. But anyway.
Be for real with me, bro. I mean, is there any quarterback in the NFL right now starting that's worse than him?
I would have said Bryce Young a few weeks ago, but I would put Bryce Young over him at this point right now. I don't think there's a quarterback that's starting that's worse than Daniel Jones, bro. I'm serious.
I'm gonna keep it a whole band with you. I think the only one, I hate to say it because I mean he's just a rookie, but Caleb Williams is probably the only quarterback in the last couple of weeks that ain't looked
and
good.
Even Caleb done had a 300-yard plus passing game this season.
This year. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What I'm saying.
That is true.
The quarterback worse than that. This dude threw 2 idiotic picks. The first one was real bad. The second one, it got took away from him, but Daniel Jones is just not good, bro. Like, it's no other way to cut the pie. Like, he's not good. It's like, it's not me being a hater. It's not me hating. He just ain't good. And that's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got his money. He, got his money and all that, but he's not good.
Is Anthony Richardson better than him?
Anthony Richardson's not starting, but they about the same level of ass.
He about to get his job back, though. He probably going to start next week.
Flacco's been that bad?
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. They already saying put Richardson back in the game. Yeah.
So maybe he's over them. I don't know. But again, he's not good. But I want to talk a little bit about Bryce and the Panthers a little bit. It kind of seems like the Panthers are kind of starting to find a little bit of an identity a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It seems like they're finally starting to get something. Their defense is doing. They're not great. They're still pretty bad, but they're doing a lot better. They've only allowed like 19.6 points in the last couple of games or something like that. So for Panthers, pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think the Panthers are starting to kind of find a little bit of identity, run the ball with Chuba. Oh, we didn't get to talk about this. Chuba got paid last week, so he's getting extended. I gotta give you a boy. I know y'all done had y'all words with each other. I think JC Horn need to get paid too, bro. He's been playing absolutely spectacular. I mean, he's been playing like a top five corner, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But I gotta give him his credit. I think he needs to get his bag as well. But I think Carolina has kind of found a little bit of identity. I think Bryce Young is playing a lot more confident. Still needs some development. He's still some things he's got to work on. But I think he's actually improved a lot compared to what we've seen the first 2 weeks. But I think they're starting to find a little bit of an identity. And again, even with Dave Canales, I think he's still a little bit over his head in the coaching role. But sometimes just learning on the job is the best way to learn. Yeah. So maybe that's just what this year is a bunch of trial and error. And he seems like he's even starting to turn the corner a little bit. So the Panthers' future is somewhat, I cannot believe I'm saying this, looking a little brighter. I think they're going to be okay. I still think we're not going to make the playoffs next year or nothing like that. But I think that, the Panthers do seem to have somewhat of a turning plan, and I can get behind that.
Yeah. I actually think we was actually talking about it in the group chat a little bit earlier. I actually think the skill position group for the Panthers is really the bright spot of the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
The running, obviously, Chuba Hubbard is great. I mean, he's at this point we can call him like a top 10 running back in the NFL.
Absolutely. I mean, you can argue top 5 this season.
This season he top 5. I mean, he number 3 in rushing yards right now. I mean,
I'm about to say this year you can say top 5.
So I give Chuba that, and then wide receiver Xavier Leggett has looked really good as a rookie, man. Yeah. I'm impressed. I'm not even gonna lie. Coker too. Yeah, thank you. Coker. So Coker Sanders, I think is number 8.
Sanders has turned the corner all of a sudden. The tight end.
Yep. So I mean, everybody, the skill position room looks good for the Panthers. We need more health on the offensive line.
Yeah.
All right, that's kind of health, not help. Health.
Because the O-line, even with the backups, they've been pretty good.
They just got to be healthy, I think, and they're a great offensive line, to be honest with you. You know, and it just falls back on once again the quarterback position.
Yep.
Truth be told, I'm still not sold on Bryce. I still need to see a lot more, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
But one thing that I will say, and I think this is an NFL problem, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think these guys just need more time in the vault, bro.
Yeah.
Because even CJ Stroud not looking good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson has been back on the bench. Caleb Williams hasn't looked good. Jaden Daniels starting to come back down to earth. You know what I'm saying? Drake May coming back down to earth. Really, Bo Nix, I'm really not impressed with him, even though he's looked solid.
Yeah.
You can just see it on the film that he kind of getting lucky. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like his numbers look way better than what he's been playing. But he need more. I think he need more time in the vault. Will Levis need more time in the vault. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all of these young quarterbacks in the last couple of years, I think me and you kind of talked about it earlier this year, but I'm kind of pivoting my point now a little bit to where maybe it's just not the quarterbacks that's up. Maybe the NFL is just really
rushing these
taking
guys
that step forward on the defensive side of the ball to where these, you know what I'm saying, these quarterbacks just aren't adjusting fast enough. You know what I'm saying? Because of the NFL defenses being so strong. You know what I mean? Because guys like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, they make it look so easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they make it look easy week in and week out. You know what I'm saying? Justin Herbert even kind of in that tier right now where he's kind of making it look a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts
been pretty good this year too.
He's been turning it around. But then you got other guys like Jordan Love and throwing a bunch of interceptions this year. I mean, he's throwing one in every single game. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes is throwing a lot of interceptions this year. Aaron Rodgers hasn't looked good at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we just need to be more honest about the defenses in the NFL and stop.
Matthew Stafford, too, he made some questionable throws last night.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of these guys, these defenses are just changing around. Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions.
5 interceptions. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know what? That's the funny thing about Goff, too. Just a little side note. Every time, have you noticed every single time they're like, man, Jared Goff ain't threw an interception in like 2 months.
Yeah.
He ended up going out there and throwing like
he like 3-4 picks.
Yeah, but anyway, maybe we need to be more lenient on these young quarterbacks because maybe it's really just not them. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen Bryce make a couple throws. I'm like, dang, yeah, like that's what we thought you was gonna be doing every game.
Yeah.
And